Carla, why are you wearing 5 t-shirts?
It's one for each decade, thanks to www.badfishmerch.com.
What have you got?
I've got Pink Lady for the 70s, Choose Life for the 80s, Girl Power for the 90s, I Survived Y2K for the noughties, and this one here, this is the last one, I Do It Gangnam Style for the 2010s.
Okay, firstly, classy. Secondly, I didn't need to see that was the last one. Put it away.
Oh, sorry. But anyway, here's the great news. With our discount code RERUN, customers can get 10% off all t-shirts, hoodies, and more.
Wait, but can they do any slogan?
Yep, or any picture. They can use loads of different vinyls, such as glow in the dark, don't use that in the cinema, metallic, reflective, rainbow, and loads more.
Oh, right. Better go over to www.badfishmerch.com with that promo code RERUN then.
Absolutely. But first, these people have got a show to listen to. Cue the intro.
Hello, thank you for choosing to listen to Number One Rerun. We are Zoe and Carla, and each episode we get pop culture nostalgic after asking the listeners one simple question. Give us a date.
That's right, and this time we are heading back to the 26th of September 2009. Let's go. Hello, Zoe.
Hello, Carla.
So, as we just said, we are going to be heading back to the 26th of September 2009, which has been submitted by my colleague, and let's say it, my friend, Pete.
Oh, that's generous of you, Carla.
Let's chuck him a bone. And this date is his son Harvey's birthday.
Ah.
Yeah, so that's a nice one to do, definitely. I suppose we'll kick off with the number one song on that day.
Let's.
It is Break Your Heart by Teo Cruz.
Now, who knew that this song went to number one? It's not a number one song in my mind, is it yours?
I remember Teo Cruz being huge around about this year. And then I don't really know what happened to him. Because he had Dynamite. I remember that one.
Do you want to sing it for us?
I'm all right. I fear I would outdo Teo Cruz and he'd be cross and sue us. So I probably won't.
Okay.
And I remember Troublemaker in particular because he says ass like a Coke bottle.
Probably.
Ass. But he's English, isn't he? I suppose he can't say arse. Imagine saying that, a rapper saying, oh, she's got an arse like a Coke bottle.
Or bum even. It doesn't really work.
No, it doesn't work. He'd have to say ass, so he'd go no choice. But the reason that interests me is because he is using a brand name there. He's saying Coke, of course. And when the Kinks released Lola...
Oh, here we go.
Back in the 60s... Going back in time.
Now we're getting into a boring mode again.
Here I am turning it around to something I can talk about.
Yeah.
There's a line in it that says, and it tastes like, and the version you're likely hear is, it says it tastes like cherry cola. And that is because the original line was it tastes like Coca-Cola, and the BBC refused to play it because it said it would be free advertising for Coca-Cola.
Oh, that's interesting.
So the singer of the Kinks had to go into the recording studio and literally just record Cherry for them to re-edit it onto the single, and it says Cherry Cola. So depending on what version you're hearing, I don't think they've got a limit on it on the radio anymore, but the album version, he's singing Coca-Cola, and they had to release a single version as Cherry Cola, or the BBC wouldn't play it.
Oh, see, I thought where you were going with that was trying to understand what a bum that looks like a Coca-Cola bottle actually looks like.
No, I mean, the Coke bottle was made to look like a woman's body.
The bottle represents a body, not a bum. That the simile doesn't work because the whole body's like a Coke bottle, not just the bum.
Correct. But he's also not specifying the size of Coke bottle. It could be a 1.75. It could be, could be a free. I mean, if you're shopping in Iceland, it's a 3 litre. It could be any number of these things. It could be an instant consumption 500 ml.
All right.
These are just little jokes just for Pete to make him laugh.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be guffawing. But my question is, Carla.
Sorry, yeah.
Regardless of any of this, none of them look like bums, do they?
Well, if he'd have said your body from the side looks like a Coke bottle, he would be accurate. But the fact he's only chosen a bum is flawed.
It is flawed. That's my point.
Okay.
I'm glad we're on the same page now then.
Okay. I thought my little tidbit about Coca-Cola being mentioned in a song was way better.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to the film.
Oh.
Well, what else do you want to say on that?
No, nothing really.
You can say what you like. If you've got something important to say about Teo.
No, I haven't. All I say is I think it's on my gym playlist. That's all I got to say. Move on. Quick, move on.
So the number one film in America on this date was Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I've got to be honest, I've never seen it.
I've seen bits of it.
Although, and I'm not just trying to shoehorn in my other podcasts, I'm genuinely not, but there is a reason for me mentioning it. So my other podcast, Theme Park Films, we talk about films that have been immortalised in the theme park, and we mainly concentrate on Orlando. And obviously, we've been going for over 2 years now. We are slowly, running out of films to talk about. So we're looking further afield. And in my research to theme parks around the world, I found a theme park that actually has this as a ride. And I wonder what the hell goes on it. Do you think you get pelted with meatballs? And if so, does IKEA sponsor it?
From memory of this film, the chance of meatballs thing is actually a bit of a red herring.
Oh, there's no meatballs in it?
I don't think, from the bits I've seen, that there are any meatballs in it, no. Therefore, I think you might be safe on the ride. I couldn't tell you what's on the ride.
Oh, I don't know about safe, though, because I can't think of anything better than being pelted with IKEA meatballs. I mean, bring it.
Because you'd be like there, mouth wide open.
I would love that. That'd be amazing.
I actually think that it wouldn't hurt too much. It depends how they're pelting you.
I mean, I like the meatballs with a bit of gravy on me, so sure, it'd get messy, but I just think there's worse things that can be thrown at you than an IKEA meatball.
Do you like the lingonberry jam thing?
No, I always avoid that because it tastes a bit like cranberry, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like it, but sweeter.
Mm.
I like the fact that we've moved on to talking about the ride and we haven't even talked about the film.
No. Well, it's really weird, actually. I saw this film not literally saw the film, I saw it advertised on the telly today. I was scrolling through, like when you've got these big fancy smart TVs. Now, as you know, I've only just recently got a smart TV. I was very much stuck with an old telly. And now I've got a nice fancy one because I won it at work.
Yeah.
And it amazes me, the stuff that's on there. And it popped up and it said, if you come onto this channel, you can get half price rentals for like your first purchase. So obviously, Dimbo me, that sounds good, go on there. And one of the things you could purchase was this. I thought, I was going to purchase this. It's old. You can get it for free. Anyway, that's as far as I go talking about this film.
Oh.
But I was looking and I thought, they had all these really new films that you could rent for $3.49 and then you could get it half price because I was this new member. And I saw this one. It was called The Guilty. And I thought, that looks interesting. Read the synopsis about a kidnapped woman and the emergency services have to try and locate her and all of this. I was like, I'll rent that. Rented it. Watched it. It's only in Danish subtitles.
Oh, I bet you hated that.
I was furious.
Did it not tell you that in the synopsis?
No. And I think if that's a paid service, even Netflix tells me, and that's not paid. I mean, it is, but not.
Could you not have told by the names of the actors?
I didn't even look who was in it. I just read the synopsis. I was very excited to get a film for £1.74 or whatever it was. And it was called The Guilty. So those are two English words. Why would I think that it was going to be a Danish film? And it was. But actually, because I'd paid for it, I persevered and sat through it, and it was a really good film.
See, what's the lesson we've learnt here?
The lesson we've learned is, Carla, sometimes watch subtitled films because you never know where it may lead.
Yeah, you've got to be in the mood for a subtitled film. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, luckily I wasn't doing anything else, so I was able to sit and concentrate. I mean, it'd be, obviously, it'd be no good if you were walking around because you'd miss it on the screen, wouldn't you? Wouldn't see it.
Oh, and I'm terrible for playing about on my phone and all that kind of thing. So
Yeah, and I couldn't do any of that. But actually, quite refreshing because it made me sit and watch a film, which probably we don't do very often.
no, it's good for you. It's good for your brain to actually focus on one thing rather than like doing 10 things at a time. I mean, I know your brain doesn't do 10 things at a time, but 2 things at a time.
Yeah, two. And then I looked it up online after I'd watched it. So, that was really good. Let's see what it got online. And it's being remade with someone or other, someone famous. Can't remember who.
In English.
American English.
Well, that didn't need clarification.
It's an American actor. And yeah, so I recommend when it comes out that you watch it. Very good twist. Didn't see it coming.
Oh, okay.
Or didn't read it coming.
Oh, see what you did there. I had to think about that then when you...
It was good, wasn't it? It was good, that. Subtitle humour.
Yeah. Niche. Yeah, well done. You've been saving that, haven't you? You've been like, when am I ever going to be able to put in my subtitle humour?
I know, and today's the day.
All of this is completely nothing to do with Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Do you think anyone has picked up on the fact that when we don't know what to talk about when a film or song comes up, not usually the song, that we just talk about something that we want to talk about instead?
Yeah, the thing is, Carla, that's how we ended up talking about Richard Gere. We ended up talking about Pretty Woman, and we peaked too soon with my Pretty Woman anecdote.
What if at some point we need to talk about a Danish film with subtitles and I've already used my anecdote? Annoying.
Ruined it for everybody.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, think on.
What was your pick of the TV guide for today?
My pick is a bit weak, to be honest. It wasn't the greatest day for TV, if I'm honest. Sorry, Pete. But I've gone for Hole in the Wall. Yeah.
Explain that for anyone in America that may be listening.
I know. I mean, they can make TV shows out of any kind of dross, can't they?
Mm-hmm.
So, Hole in the Wall, the idea was they had 2 celebrity teams. Basically, they were dressed in these like top to toe, what they call like all-in-one things. There was a pool underneath, and then there was this wall that would come towards them that had a bit cut out in it, a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
And they would have to put themselves into a position, into whatever shape they needed to put themselves into, for the wall to pass over them or round them without them being pushed into the water.
And was it always celebrities on there, or were there normal people that did it?
I thought it was all celebrities, but maybe not.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd only ever seen celebrity specials or if it was ever to the public. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure they were always celebrities.
Always celebrities, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And kind of the holes used to get smaller, didn't it, as the rounds went on?
The holes did get smaller.
So it was more difficult to get through those walls, guys.
And now it was presented by the dearly departed Dale Winton originally.
R.I.P. We love Dale, don't we?
We did love Dale. And then he was taken over by Anton de Beck.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Well, I was looking this up earlier because I was trying to remember who presented it. And yeah, Anton de Beck was the was the person who took over from him.
I just remember, and I don't know if he was a contestant, like a regular contestant, but I remember Joe Swash being on there a lot.
Yeah, he was one of the like team captains, I think. He was one of the regular team captains. I think that's what I read.
He's always game for a laugh, isn't he, Joe?
I like Joe Swash.
Who doesn't? Him and Stacey, they're just a fun couple, aren't they? Him and Stacey Solomon.
Yeah, I like them. Unsurprisingly, it didn't last very long, this series.
Well, this would have been Saturday night telly again. Yet again, we've gone for a Saturday night. This is purely coincidence that people keep submitting dates that have happened on a Saturday, and especially when someone's been born, you can't choose that.
No, it's weird, isn't it? I'd understand it if everyone was submitting their wedding day.
I was born on a Saturday.
Were you? What does Saturday's child? Is loving and giving? No, surely not.
Just great, I think, is the expression.
No, what's Saturday's child?
I think it's worked hard for a living.
Oh, it is.
Since Pete is my colleague, he can confirm that's absolutely correct. Saturday's child does work hard for a living.
Well, I beg to differ from what you've told me, but...
Well, libus, none of that, thank you.
I mean, let's say you're good at your job, but that's different from working hard.
Working smart.
Oh, yeah, I like what you did there. Anyway, so that was my choice. What was your choice, Carla?
Well, my choice, this is a first, Zoe, because for the first time ever, I've gone for a Freeview channel rather than the 4 terrestrial channels.
What, the 4 what channels?
Terrestrial. Terrestrial.
God, let's hope we never have to talk about ET, Carla.
Let's hope that's not coming up in the next episode.
Yeah, fingers crossed, eh? Fingers crossed you haven't had to talk about that in a previous podcast as well.
No, I would have made a right fool of myself, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, this was from BBC Three, and I've chosen Family Guy. Family Guy is, I believe, one of the funniest shows ever.
Sorry, just to clarify, the funniest cartoons or the funniest shows?
No, this is where I'm going. I'm saying it's the funniest show, not just cartoon. It transcends out of the cartoon world because I find it so funny.
I do too.
Don't get me wrong, I loved The Simpsons when they first came out. I've got a soft spot for The Simpsons. Everyone has. But Family Guy just knocks The Simpsons humour out of the park in my eyes. Completely and utterly.
Do you think that's because it's way more close to the mark, and it can be because of the audience that they're aiming for?
Yeah, I guess so, because The Simpsons wasn't aimed at children necessarily, but then they did aim it at children by bringing out Do the Bartman and all of that. And you know, when we were sort of 11 or 12, all the kids were into The Simpsons. That was like the big thing. But I don't think necessarily 11-year-olds are watching Family Guy.
Well, let's hope not.
Bit rude.
I mean, it's beyond a bit rude, Carla. It's bad. I mean, there's a bloke next door that's a bit of a paedophile.
How can they turn that into something that's really funny?
You know what really gets me with him is his voice. That kind of whistle that he does.
And then you got Cragmire, who's like literally the molester.
That's true, right? Yeah, there's two, isn't there? There's the paedophile and there's a molester. All bases covered, though.
All of the side characters are brilliant. The fact that Mila Kunis plays Meg just makes me laugh. I think that's funny.
Does she still play Meg?
She does, yeah. And I like that she's stuck with it. Because arguably she could have left a long time ago. She's very famous now, isn't she?
And I've always thought the whole, what's the name of the dog?
Brian.
Yeah, Brian and Steve. Stewie. God. They are very good characters, and I'm always trying to understand whether or not people can actually hear what Stewie is saying.
Oh, I see. Or just the audience. You think just the audience can hear. So it's just like an inner monologue for Stewie.
I think when it comes out and they're listening, it just sounds like him crying. Or like Esme when she's talking, where she's just like, da, 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 massa.
It's just rubbish. No offence, Esme.
Well, in her head, they're really important because she has to tell me them a lot. I think Stewie's the same, and I'm just wondering whether... I've always thought that it is like an inner monologue.
I've never thought about it that deeply.
Oh, well, that doesn't surprise me.
I just like looking at the cartoon dog.
Yeah, I like the pretty pictures.
Because I was thinking back of cartoon families, and it started with the Flintstones.
Did it?
Yeah, that was aimed at adults. So the Flintstones was never meant to be a children's cartoon. Not that it was risque, but it wasn't supposed to appeal to children at all.
Was the Flintstones before the Jetsons?
Yeah, so that came after. So it was the Flintstones, then the Jetsons. Then I guess it skipped straight to the Simpsons. Is there any other families in between that?
I can't think of any.
I think Simpsons in America was the 80s, that late 80s, but I don't think it came over here until like 1990, possibly. And now you've got Family Guy, and there's loads more now because you've got American Dad and stuff, and King of the Hill, which I haven't really spent too much time watching. But Family Guy, oh my God, I could just literally watch that for hours.
Yeah, it is really good.
What I like is when you're on a plane, it's very rare you'll get on a plane and not find Family Guy as part of the entertainment option to watch. And it is just perfect for that.
Of all of the requirements when you get on a flight, the most important is there an episode of Family Guy?
Yeah, you don't even need to provide a seatbelt. Just give me Family Guy and I'll be perfectly happy.
Exactly. Don't worry about feeding me. Just make sure that I've got lots of episodes of Family Guy.
But it is just a really good show to just watch like that because they're only about 20 minutes.
It's good for like when you know the plane, you're not far off landing.
Yes.
And you want to kill some time, but you can't watch a whole film.
I think we've covered that. I think we've done a great synopsis. And, I will say, though, that Family Guy is one of the only shows I own that I've got every series on DVD or every season.
Have you? I used to have that with Sex and the City, but I got rid of them.
Don't give any anecdotes in case we need to use them for another show.
Oh no, but I don't know if I would remember any anecdotes for Sex and the City.
I've never even watched Sex and the City.
Well, that's an anecdote in itself. The other thing that I've just thought of about Family Guy is that you can... Have you heard of Myers-Briggs personality test thing?
Yes.
So you can do that and it will tell you which character from Family Guy you're closest to. Can't remember who I was.
Would any of them be any good to turn out like? I guess Brian the dog is the most sensible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that would have been a great anecdote if we knew the answer.
Well, I can look it up for you. Do you remember what you are?
What, my personality type?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember. We had to do it for work.
I think I'm ENTP, which is Peter.
That's worrying.
Yeah.
Right, enough of that.
Yeah.
If people want to get in touch to submit a date, how can they do that, Zoe?
If they want to get in touch, submit date, and we are currently taking submissions for the next couple of months. I won't say March because it's going out in March, isn't it?
No.
Then they can contact us by email at numberonererun@hotmail.com, or they can find us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Number One Rerun.
Absolutely. Anything from 1978 onwards, please send in your dates. And as a reminder, we are the creators of Britpod Scene, which is a collective of British podcasts. If you go to Britpod Scene on Twitter, everything we retweet are the shows that we endorse. So thank you very much to Pete for giving us a date. Hello to Harvey. And thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Number One Rerun podcast is part of Britpod Scene, an independent network of uniquely British podcasts that's always growing. Check out BritpodScene.com or follow Britpod Scene on Twitter to find out more.